So, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out 2 years ago today, and so I thought I'd make a video talking about it because it's been one of the most special games I've played in recent years. I've been a massive Zelda fan for years, and Breath of the Wild was one of my most anticipated games of all time, and honestly, it didn't disappoint at all. That's not to say that the game is perfect, but for me, the flaws with this game are either minor annoyances or just missed opportunities that don't really ruin the game in any way for me. And I really respect this game because it tried so many new things, but also still felt like a Zelda game. A lot of game franchises these days come out with sequels that either change so little that it feels like you're playing the same game over and over, or they change so much that the games kind of lose their identity. But with Breath of the Wild, I feel like they found this perfect middle ground of innovation and classic Zelda. The art style, combat, controls, music, atmosphere, these are the kind of things that still make it feel like I'm playing a true Zelda experience. The more open-ended, sandboxy nature of this game really brings on a whole new sense of adventure, and really, I think it was what the Zelda franchise needed if it was going to stay relevant and not stagnate. After you beat the tutorial level, you can climb any mountain you want, you can glide to wherever you want, and you can complete most of the quests and dungeons in pretty much any order you want. And this sense of freedom even applies to the combat. It gives you so many options with all these different weapons and techniques that allow you to fight the enemies in pretty much any way you see fit. The game also blew me away from a technical point of view, with it being the first game I played on the Nintendo Switch. Being able to play such a huge open world game on either my big TV or on a tiny tablet was really mind-blowing, and the handheld aspect made it easier for me to sink more hours into the game, and it really showed me more of the importance of the Switch's handheld feature. Although one area where the game kind of fails is the storytelling. The story is not terrible, but it's also not great, and the game just doesn't really have much of a focus on the story. You could tell that it was mostly a gameplay-driven game, which is totally fine. You know, I think if a game has amazing gameplay, it can get away with not necessarily having the best story. And I wasn't really expecting this Zelda game in particular to have like a really groundbreaking story or anything, so it wasn't that disappointing to me, but I know for a lot of other people it was very disappointing. Someday I might do a more in-depth review of Breath of the Wild, but for now, if you want, further thoughts on this game, I would recommend either checking out Matthew Matos's new Breath of the Wild review or Arlo's review series of Breath of the Wild. I think they both did a great job and obviously put a lot of work into those videos, so I highly recommend you check them out. Happy 2-year anniversary, Breath of the Wild, you beautiful masterpiece.